The next tip, I'd say, buying companies with good management. So this one is interesting because if you think about it, it is kind of hard to say, okay, what exactly is good management? Because people might just look and say, oh, these CEOs, when you see them talk at the AGMs or on social media, those kind of stuff, YouTube, Instagram, they're saying things about their company, and a lot of them will sound positive, but a lot of times you kind of have to look behind what they're saying and actually look at, for example, the numbers of the company and stuff. So one of the things I try to look at is I try to look at companies where I think their interests align with ours. So it's like, okay, if the company does well in a certain way, it benefits us, it benefits them, and also me. So it's like versus a company that um the business could be doing. How do I explain? So okay, for
No, you're
example,
right.
I like to look at a company that the person the persons are both owners and operators.
Operators.
So for example,
Very
and they're
good.
also heavy owners. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, the CEO of the company or the chairman, they are like the majority shareholder. They own like a heavy portion of the company, 80%, 50%. And that's a big part of their wealth. Because if they, for example, if the company was to say not do well, revenues going down, profits going down, dividends going down, it's a big hit to them. If that's how they make most of their money and the company isn't doing well, they're going to say, no, 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 we have to fix this up. I need my money, which I think if it kind
Mm-hmm.
of ties back to, like, for example, why leeching is kind of coming back with NCB. Because look at that. Most of Leeching's wealth is in NCB. NCB hasn't been paying dividends. That was a huge amount of cash he was getting. So he's
Mm-hmm.
now coming back and he's saying, yo, we have to fix this up. We have to get the stuff. I need my money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Shareholders need their money.
mhm,
The biggest shareholder needs his money.
yeah.
So yeah, I agree. If it will incentivize them as the largest shareholder, right, to make profit and to generate cash and to pay dividends and all of those things. And a good example, in my opinion, is like companies I like RPL, right? Andrew Williams owns about 80% of RPL, right? I think it's in his best interest for this company to take off, right? Whether it's stock price appreciate, when there's capital gains, or stock price appreciation when the price of the stock goes up, or whether it's to pay dividends, either or, he benefits significantly because he has such a large stake in the company, right? Uh, any any other examples that you have? Any like bad examples for this? Like, because there is a flip
I don't really
side
want
where
to
people.
call. Well, what I'd say too, watch out for sometimes the compensation. So it's like sometimes some companies set it up that
Mm-hmm.
the company isn't, they, like the managers of the company, aren't paid based on the profit of the company. I've seen it. Even
Mm-hmm.
some Jamaica Stock Exchange companies, they're paid based on the value of the assets. So imagine you are a company, you list, you take the shareholders' money, you buy some properties or some factory, and the value of the asset. So you have a nice big asset. So like you listed, before you listed, you had 100 million in assets. Now you have 300 million in assets. But suppose before you listed, you were making 10 million in profit. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're only making 5 million, but you have a huge amount of assets. I've seen it where they pay themselves based on the value of the assets. So the business could not be very profitable, but no matter what, they're getting paid. How incentivized do you think they're going to be if no matter if the business is making profit, they're still getting paid and even more?
Mm-hmm.
That's something I would definitely watch out for. I would definitely watch out for that. Or
Those
like I like
management
companies
fees.
that the management owns a lot of shares. So it's not even just okay the CEO, but a lot of the directors they own shares.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the workers they're buying shares. They actually believe in the company because at the end of the
That's
day, if
that's
I'm
a heavy
working at a
one.
company
Mm-hmm.
and say if the company does well, I own the shares in the company and I can get more if the cap gains or the price increases, the dividends increase, it benefits me. I'm going to be way more incentivized to work well and say, hey, this
Mm-hmm.
literally can help me other than just my salary. With the company doing better and paying me a higher salary, the company's share price can increase, which can increase my net worth.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
'Cause if I was at work or if at a company that I could buy shares in. Let's say I have two kids and I'm buying shares for them, right? It's highly unlikely that I would want to leave this company if I have a say in this company and so on. And I would benefit, and my kids would benefit from the price of these shares to go up, or the dividend yield to go up, or so on, right? Or the amount of dividends that they get paid, right, to go up. I want to work and ensure that this company is on the right trajectory. That would fuel me personally, right? I wouldn't want to resign. In fact, I would want to give it my all. It would almost seem for me as if I would it'd give me an extra boost throughout the day. It would be like I'm working for this company, but I also own this company. So it's
It's a
it's
win-win relationship.
it's a win-win relationship,
Win-win
precisely.
relationship. Yep. Yep.
Precisely.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
mentioned
Because
something that was pretty critical, because you said management when or directors when they buy heavily. Love companies. Love companies when the management buying. When you see a bag of buys,
yo,
management are buying millions of
believe,
dollars. If buying
believe.
is believing, man. Big
Yes,
man thing.
brother. Versus
You know,
selling. Like some companies, I
yeah.
see the managers just selling, selling, selling. I'm just like, what? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you never know when someone will need cash.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are constantly just selling, 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 and then you're seeing them say the shares are undervalued. I don't know why the share price isn't higher than it is. Sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, come on now. Come
I'm not
on.
stupid, bro. I'm not
Yeah.
stupid.
But I was saying a good example when management buying shares is Transjam. Because if you look back, and all of the information is public, guys. You can check the JSE's website and you look at maybe around May of 2023, you realize member on May 19th, a member of the audit committee bought 800,000 Transjam shares. And you're like, okay. You look maybe further back, March 23, 2023, and you see, oh, another director purchased 20 million Transjam shares, right? And another member of the audit committee purchased 2.2 mil. And you look up further on June 1, and you see that a director buy another X amount of shares. And so I say all of those things. And then when you look at the stock price at that time, right, that 20 million share buy, the stock price was at $1.35, and that was March of this year, 2023. Now Transjam closed what, 2.90 on Friday, $2.90 from $1.35. This guy bought 20 million shares. This man is loaded with money right now. Loaded. That at
Remember, they
least
can
double.
sometimes understand what's going on in the company that you may not.
So it's always good to watch when management is buying, because something might be cooking, something might be coming.
What's the next one?
The next point that we are going to make is to buy companies that are